And welcome back to Spooktober, all you cyberpunks and retro nerds out there. In today's solo flight review, hosted by yours truly, Tommy the Hammer, we're going to be checking out a movie called The Sonata. And I happened to pick this up at the local rental store, Family Video. It was dirt cheap and it's always caught my eye. I like the cover, I like gothic horror, and I like Rutger Hauer. He's one of my favorite kind of cult movie actors. You guys get to check out the trailer, peep that shit, and when we get back, y'all motherfuckers are gonna know my opinione on The Sonata.
Play the music and let yourself go.
Okay guys, I just got done watching the movie The Sonata. We're going to talk about it here real quick. Whether or not you'll be interested in this horror movie kind of depends on a number of things. One, are you into gothic horror films such as the 1970s British Hammer movies? Two, do you like slow burns and films that kind of take their time in a film noir sense? And three, do you like the European Jalio-esque movies of the 1970s and the 1980s? Those three things should definitely circle your thoughts before renting or purchasing a copy of this film. Now, I like all of those things. I'm big on horror. I love a lot of European, horror movies and Italian giallos, the works of Dario Argento and Lucio Fulci. I can really get behind those movies, and I gotta admit, that was one of the main things that I was kind of hoping this film was gonna be going for. And, straight away, I'm gonna say this to you guys. For the first 40 minutes of this movie, I was definitely on board. There was a lot of good acting, a lot of good music, very atmospheric and moody sentiment to the overall cinematography. And I felt like it really took its time, putting all these pieces together for the central plot. And that's, very important when it comes down to building a sense of dread with a horror movie. However, about halfway through the film, some of the more clumsy elements to the overall narrative become definitely a lot more apparent, and the director decides to actually show some of the evil in the form of some blatant, dodgy CGI. There's a moment in the middle of the movie where a statue moves and I'm like, oh brother, they had to animate it with CGI. It really took me out of the whole affair. It's at that point that I feel like the movie definitely starts to clatter on down a hill, and a lot of its inconsistencies really do show at this point. I thought the lead actress in the movie was good, but her character was too icy cold and standoffish. So her acting abilities, really good, definitely a pretty girl. In terms of actor Rutger Hauer, he's as excellent as ever, but he's only in the beginning of the film and pretty much at the end of the film. And maybe this was a budget restraint, or maybe it was a request of the actor. I do know that this was, the last movie that he made right before he died, so I don't know if that had something to do with it, but you don't get a whole lot of Rutger Hauer in this movie, which is slightly disappointing. He's such a great actor, and any on-screen time that you do get with the guy in The Sonata is kind of like a breath of fresh air, because like I said, about halfway after that mid-marker, everything in this movie definitely goes downhill. Gore-wise, there's nothing to speak of in this film whatsoever. But, gore doesn't make a horror movie. It's the mood and the atmosphere that can really send it home. And this movie definitely does that. And towards the end, it does kind of pick itself up again from all the bad CGI that you get in the middle of the movie. And some of the elements with Rutger Hauer and sacrificing little kids and making this cosmic song that's gonna kill everybody in the world, something like that. is definitely horror and definitely dreadful. So I like those elements, and I like where this story eventually goes, even though it takes a very slow, bumbly, stumbly route to get there. So with all those criticisms voiced, I really could actually recommend this movie for the month of October. It might even be perfect for teenagers because, like I said, there's not a lot of gore, but it doesn't trivialize things. The overall plot and acting in this movie are very adult. This ain't no tween horror film. The lead actress is definitely the youngest one in the cast, but everyone else is played by capable and engaging adult actors. So I think that's definitely important. And if you're looking for something that kind of takes more of a leaning towards mood and atmosphere and creep factor, then definitely check out this film. Like I said, not a lot of bloodshed. So out of 10 stars, I could give the movie The Sonata maybe a solid 6.5 out of 10.